Hi, how are you?
Doing great.
Oh, good. Well, I guess we can get this going. Thank you everybody for joining us today. My name's Samantha. I'm the branch manager of our Clear Lake office.
Hello, and my name is E'Lisa Trevino, and I'm the HR and safety specialist with Meador Staffing. I work out of our corporate office in Pasadena, Texas.
So today we are going to talk with you. We're going to cover the industrial walkthroughs of a client site and what that looks like from both the risk and safety point of view, as well as the operations team. As always, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll do our best to answer them.
Perfect. So, what are the purposes of completing a walkthrough? So, there's many reasons for completing an industrial walkthrough of a client site. And of course, safety is our number one concern, and making sure job sites are providing a safe working environment is top priority. But in addition to that, we love meeting with and learning more about our clients. We learn what their needs are, how can we best service them, being able to physically inspect the environment and job duties allows us to better match qualified candidates to the positions that are available. Many of our industrial jobs must go through an approval process that's handled by the risk and safety team. So being able to put eyes on an environment can clear the air of many risk and safety concerns, and this allows for quickly approving industrial positions as they come available.
So for each walkthrough that we go through, let's talk about who goes on those walkthroughs at each site. So typically we have a member of our risk and safety team. In the event that somebody from the risk and safety team is not available, we will have an employee that's been trained by the risk and safety team. Also, we will have the account manager or the branch manager, depending on who again is available. And then there's also a staffing consultant. We try not to send too many people on the initial walkthroughs because we want to be mindful of the client's time, as these walkthroughs can be lengthy.
Yes. And one of the questions that I get all the time is what actually happens during a walkthrough? I kind of want to go through just what that looks like for us and kind of what we're looking for. So basically, when we go to a client site, we are escorted through the facility where our employees are expected to work. We observe everything. So from the ceiling to the floor. And as we walk through the facility, we ask questions about what we see during our walk. These questions might include how certain equipment is operated or what PPE is required on the floor versus while operating certain equipment. We ask about lifting requirements, height requirements, and hazardous exposures. We ask about protocols in case of an accident or an injury, where first aid kits are located, and how communication is handled in these types of situations. Our industrial client site inspections are thorough and can take anywhere for an hour or longer, depending on the size of the facility.
So once you gather that information, E'Lisa, what does the risk and safety team do with it?
So basically what we do is we analyze it. The risk manager and I will go over the information with the operations manager, branch manager, staffing consultant, even sometimes the account manager, and talk to them about the position, maybe what some of our concerns might be, or how we can move forward with what positions are available and how we need to proceed to be able to help the client.
Okay. So after that, looking at the walkthroughs have been completed, everybody's gone back to the prospective offices and we've done all the analyzation from both sides of it. The operation side of it, it's a little bit different. For us, the actual walkthrough does a couple of things. But most importantly, it provides a clear picture for the internal team that's recruiting, sourcing, and staffing for the position of the client location. It helps us understand the day-to-days, ins and outs of the roles, safety aspects, And with that understanding, we're able to clearly communicate with each employee the expectations of both operations and safety requirements while they're out there on site.
Yes, and that's actually a very good point. We actually, the safety and risk team, safe and risky girl, the safety and risk team, we actually upload the information, our reports, and the information about what we find through the walkthrough, so that for future purposes, right? So when positions come available in the future, that information is there. A lot of times it speeds the process of us being able to approve positions that would normally require us to go out there and do a walkthrough. If we're able to get that done, you know, in the very beginning, then when those positions start to come through, we can actually move forward quickly with recruiting and getting those positions filled for our clients.
So when we are out there doing the walkthrough, we're not just looking at a specific position that has been brought to us and proposed for us to work on, but any potential position and business that we could have with the client. And this is part of the reason why I can say that it does take a little bit longer for the walkthrough. It takes, like you said, an hour, sometimes longer, because we're not just looking at the one thing, but all the things.
Correct. That is so true. I can't tell you how many times I've gone through a walkthrough that may have been for just a general, warehouse position. But then you get out there and they have multiple possibilities, shipping, receiving, and, assembly and machine operators, that kind of stuff. While we're there, let's take a look at those positions. That way, when they do come available, we are ready to hit the ground running and get those positions filled as quickly as possible. We already know what that environment's going to look like. We already know the hazards involved in that position, and that allows us to best qualify applicants for those positions. So, yeah.
I think it's great that we're able to get out there and look at it as a big picture perspective, because this way, at a later date, if we have another staffing consultant that does want to put eyes on it, or when we go out to meet the client, it is truly just meeting with the client at that point and the potential that we can bring them. So I know I enjoy going out on the walkthroughs with the entire team, whoever's going out there. It's always a lot of fun. It's amazing what you get to do and see, and just the people you get to meet when you're out there. Because one of the other things that we get to see, that it's not just so much the risk and safety side of it, but it gives us an opportunity to see what the actual working climate's like. It's amazing. You go to some places and it's just dead silent there. They're just, everybody's in their own zone, or they say you're working together, but what does working together look like? Is it a handoff? Is it, opposite sides of a machine, different sides of the warehouse? So it really lets us paint the picture and see what that environment looks like. Because if you've got, it's definitely not just the safety part of it. It is a definite full component. It's part of the full service of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, being able to go out and put eyes on, the environment, the culture, the, employees, the management, it just makes for better communication with the, possible employees that we could put out there, and being able to make that perfect match. It helps us to be able to paint a very clear picture of what this position is, what it's going to entail, visually what should they expect. And I think that it sets the candidate or the employee up for a better possibility of possibly going permanent or staying long-term. I just think that it really does positively affect that, position from the very onset of, them starting and having a very clear understanding of what they're stepping into.
My favorite thing I hear is that we are fast-paced. And one person's idea of fast-paced and another person's idea are two different things. So it's really great to get out there and see, what does fast pace mean for this individual client? Because if we have somebody who works at a different pace, we might not want to put them in a location that's a little bit faster than what they're accustomed or wanting to work at. So it's, like I said, it's all the things that kind of paint that picture, and safety being number one. We don't want somebody who moves at an extremely fast pace out at a client that likes to do things slow and steady.
Right.
You know? So it's everything ties back into the safety part of it, and
Yeah.
the finding the fit for that client.
Oh yeah, I can't tell you, the most exciting part of it is when you go and you do that walkthrough, right? And then you have an applicant come in and, you know, they're applying for positions, and you know immediately, like, this person
Needs to go here.
yes, they are an ABC company person, you know, and just knowing that, you know, in your heart of hearts that this person belongs out there, you know, this is a perfect match. And then being able to call the client and say, oh my goodness, I found this person. They meet all of your, you know, qualifications, and you're going to absolutely love them. You know, let's schedule this. So
Yes.
yeah.
Well, we don't want to take up too much time. Let's take a look at our chat, see if there's any questions.
All right.
Are you able to see that? See if we haven't answered anything already.
Let's see, I'm going through. Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, everybody is just like, oh, this is great information. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Safety is, you know, very important. Appreciate all of your comments, and thank you guys. And, you know, if you guys need assistance, you know, definitely reach out to Meador Staffing. We've been here for over 50 years and we know this business.
If we did miss anything, we will go back through the chats and we'll try and answer them in the thread. But thank you, E'Lisa, for doing this with me today.
Thank you, Samantha.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please join us next Thursday at 11 o'clock on Facebook Live. We'll be doing Tales of Meador Staffing, the anniversary edition, with Mr. Ben Meador and Melinda Torreson, and they'll be discussing how to overcome adversity. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.